Hey guys, it's Mario here. I am in Valencia, Spain right now. As you guys can see here, it's a very sunny, very beautiful day. I'm actually walking around the city. It's about 27 degrees Celsius, which is really warm for this time of the year in Europe in March, and pretty amazing place to be at as well. A lot of tourists, a lot of stuff to see, pretty good food as well. And with this video, I wanted to address an issue that I've been asked a lot, and to be honest, it's getting too much attention. So it's the issue of whey protein, specifically when to take whey protein for maximum results. And this is something that I see a lot of guys focus on, and I just wanted to clear up things and make sure that you guys know what are some of the recommendations that are based on science, what is kind of the stuff that I do, and what is I guess the most pragmatic approach that we can do right now according to the research. So another thing that I will briefly touch upon here in this video is that the case of intermittent fasting, whether should you do BCA or whey protein, and kind of that's a debate that I hear a lot in like Facebook groups, on newsfeed, on forums, and especially on YouTube videos. So going into it, what is really important? Well, look, first thing is that I want to make clear is that your daily intake of protein, like total intake of protein per day, is much more important than your timing of that protein. So you want to make sure that you hit your daily targets. That's going to be about 1 gram to 1.5 grams per pound of lean body mass, or if you're using the kilo system, it's going to be about 2 to 2.2 grams per kilo of lean body mass. So that's the first thing you want to make clear, is that that is the priority. That's going to yield 80 to 90% of results, 80 to 90% of return on investment of your time and other efforts. So whey protein can be useful in this scenario as well, as simply a tool of adherence and consistency, where you'll be able to get your protein, and if you happen not to have any food around that is rich in protein, whey is very convenient to get at any point of the day, or you can also carry it around with you, which makes your life a lot easier, especially if you're traveling. Let's say here in Spain, I'm looking at the menu in every single restaurant, it's mainly carbs, right? That's just the traditional food here, and that's the food that I'm gonna eat. And I'm gonna miss protein if I don't take some whey with me to make sure that I hit my goal. And that's just out of pure convenience there. There's obviously, if you can get protein from food, if you can just simply get it from solid, unprocessed, good, healthy food, like why would you get whey protein? That doesn't make any sense. And I'm just using it as a tool to get more consistency with that daily amount. So when it comes to timing, so now that you know that the daily intake is the most important thing, never forget that. When it comes to timing, when we look at the studies, we know that we should get some protein ideally about 1 hour to 2 hours before and about 1 hour to 2 hours after training. So that is really that window of opportunity, if you want to call it like that, where you can maximize your gains in terms of like what do you get as a return on having a really good intake. So in that case, whey protein is very useful, again, because if you happen to not have any protein for like 4 or 5 hours before your training, you can have a scoop, or like maybe half a scoop, an hour before, or even 30 minutes before, and that's gonna get digested, and that's gonna be easy on your stomach, because then you can still do your workout. And that's really important there, is that if you have a very huge meal, like if you have a solid big meal rich in protein, rich in carbs, fats, and fiber, you might have issues while training because it's really heavy on your stomach. And that's something I don't like personally. When I go into the gym and I have a very like that feeling that there's a lot of food in my stomach, I just can't perform optimally, especially if I'm doing something intense like a leg day or something. I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna puke. So that's definitely something to keep in mind there, and that's where whey is very convenient, because you can just get that shake and problem solved. As far as like fasted training, that's where whey again is useful, because you don't have time to get a bigger meal. Like you don't have time to get that huge meal, so you simply get that scoop, or like say half a scoop before training, 30-45 minutes before, and you're good to go. So you can hit without being afraid that your body will tap into your own muscle protein to break it down and to get those aminos. So aside from that, you know, there's this debate of like BCA versus whey protein. I personally, when I analyze everything, look at all the studies and everything, I realized that whey protein is better. You know, it's simply better because you get same, if not better results, and also cost less, and there's less headache because you just carry one supplement with you, which is a benefit because you have to think less which one to get, right? And I haven't seen anything that is really pointing out that BCA are superior to whey protein, especially if you're doing that fasted training. I mean, getting that complete protein in is definitely beneficial. So that's my recommendation, is to get whey protein and not focus on BCA so much. I mean, if you do have some BCA right now on you, you might want to take it, but I would really consider when you're trying to get new supplements, I would really think about it a little bit and maybe go just for whey protein. So after workout, if you're doing that fasted training, you know, then again, you want to get some whey if it's going to take you a while to get food, right? If it's going to take you longer than an hour, I would recommend definitely getting a scoop of whey at least to get until you get that meal, because that meal will also take time to process. So just to be sure, I mean, I'm talking about purely pragmatic here. I don't have any research study that is saying, hey, if you're doing intermittent fasting, you have to take that protein on the minute 46 right after workout, after your last set. You know, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that as a pragmatic person, I'm gonna look at all the research and I'm gonna try to make the best decision possible with the information that is available to me. So that's what I'm saying to you guys here. You wanna get that whey protein about an hour to 2 hours after training, and just to simply be sure that you're not missing out. So if there's 1% chance of me not missing out, if I do that, I'm gonna take that chance, because it takes me no effort whatsoever to bring some protein with me. You know, it's like slight discomfort to have it in my gym bag, you know, when I do my training. You know, it's absolutely nothing. So that's something I want to point out, is you want to be doing these things that take little effort and there might be a chance of some benefit. So this is one of those things. So going further, I mean, if you just go throughout your day, if you train in the evening, you might not even need that whey protein if you just have some food ready at home. If you're coming back from gym, you have a solid meal ready for you and you're coming back from home in under an hour, you know, you definitely don't need whey protein. You can enjoy more of your solid food. You can have a tastier meal. You have more food as well. It's going to keep you fuller, especially if you're dieting. So that's one of those things to consider, that whey protein is in no way some kind of magical thing, right? It's simply a tool of adherence, right? And if you can get your whey, if you can get your protein without whey, go for that. You know, that's my personal choice. I would always choose that rather than going for some supplements. I would always choose to get real food because I like to eat, right? I love food. I'm a big foodie. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below if you're currently taking whey protein. When do you usually take whey protein? How do you time it around? You know, I personally do, as I said, about a scoop or two after training. That's going to be my standard. If I have to wait for an hour or two before I get a meal, and before training, I'm going to have maybe a scoop about an hour or 45 minutes before, just to be sure if I haven't had a meal for 5-6 hours before training. So that's kind of my what I aim for. I hope you guys are not as worried in this as we used to be in the past, because I know I was really paranoid to get my protein as fast as possible. And once again, hope you enjoyed this video. Shoot me a comment below if you have any questions, as I said, and hit that subscribe button to support the channel below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.